Hello everyone, I am Kripa Bhaktan. I am representing Group Melbourne 14 and today's topic for presentation is Cybersecurity Evaluation of Portside Business School, and my group members are Priyanka, Diluli and myself. Move on to the introduction of the presentation. So today we'll be discussing the importance and relevance of IT security policies in modern organization with an increasing in the cyber threats such as phishing, data breaches. An importance of IT security policy act as a defensive or a very important defensive mechanism to prevent these kind of cyber threats. So cybersecurity policies has multiple guidelines. It helps to prevent data breaches, financial losses. It creates awareness among employees. It ensures compliance with legal and industrial regulation. Moving on to the next slide. So the scope of a study is to basically to includes a detailed cybersecurity evaluation of Portside Business School with a focus on finance department, because finance department is managing a lot of sensitive financial data such as their payroll, vendor transaction. So it serves a crucial operational unit and a practical pilot for evaluating and improving the institutional security policies. So here we are focusing on the scope of a study is to focus on the finance department of Portside Business School, and the incident which we are evaluating is a phishing attack targeting an employee from finance department. And as I mentioned, this analysis was prompted purely based on a cybersecurity incident which happened at one of the employee in a finance department. And the type of a phishing attack which happened was a um, credential harvesting phishing attack. So we all are aware of different types of phishing attack. So an incident like this is basically prompting a user. In our case, it was asking our one of the employee from the finance department to log into a fake page and was prompting him to enter all the login credentials such as user ID and password. So there are multiple objectives for in our studies. One is to identify behavioral and technical vulnerabilities and how to mitigate risk and to strengthen the cyber security policies of the college. Moving on to the next slide. So key cyber security threat. As I mentioned, the cyber security threat which affected Portside Business School for the finance department employee is a phishing attack targeting an employee, and the attack type was a credential-based harvesting attack, wherein they spoofed an email and a fake login page, which prompted the employee to log in. And these hackers are using these login credentials for malicious purpose. So the red flags that any employee or the Portside finance department employee could have considered was urgent call to action. So the subject line includes urgent and immediate verification required, and the body mentioned prevents account lockout. That means they're pressuring the employee to do a spontaneous or to respond to that immediately. So which is a very common phishing tactic to bypass critical thinking, which unfortunately the employee was not aware of. The second is a suspicious link URL. So although the link resembled the PBC intranet, the link redirected to a different unofficial domain, and the link text says verify access portal. But the actual URL actually would lead to a spoofed one, to a malicious site. Again, a legitimate institution rarely asks user to verify credential via an external link. So again, it is lack of awareness among the employee. And the third is unverified center address. So the email claimed to be from IT support, but lacked to have a digital signature from the PBC domain. The usual ID was different. The actual ID was different from where the employee got this mail. The actual authorized verified ID is at the rate pbu.edu.au or at the rate portside.edu.au. The use of unfamiliar domain is a common phishing tactic, which the employee of the financial department was unaware of. And he couldn't dictate any of these three red flags, which led to this phishing attack. Moving forward, my group member Priyanka will take it forward. Thank you.
Uh, Hi, so let's go through the policy for handling IT related digital communications that we created. Now, the incident was a classic credential harvesting phishing attack. The fake email exploited three common red flags, as mentioned before: an urgent call to action, a suspicious link, which resembles the PBC intranet, and an unverified sender domain. Now, the goal was to capture these login credential. This shows that human error can be a major vulnerability. Now, to address this, we introduced a formal policy as shown, supported by training and security controls. We created a policy specifically for IT related digital communications in the finance department. The policy requires the staff to confirm any IT requests via internal channels, which are verified like Teams or Slack or internal phone lines before acting. Unsolicited messages should be treated suspicious, and employees must avoid clicking unknown links or sharing credentials. The process also includes verifying messages, reporting them via a cybersecurity form or a portal, and waiting for an official IT confirmation before taking further action. Now, this in turn reduces the risk of falling for phishing attempts, amongst other things, may I add. Now, we conducted an internal review of our policy and made key improvements based on a group feedback. First, we added after hours escalation procedures in case an attack happens outside hours. Suppose an employee is commuting, just checking emails, sees something, clicks on it. We don't want that to happen. We also conducted and included an example internal IT contact to remove any ambiguity. The issues section was updated to reflect real risks like identity theft and financial loss. Finally, we introduced a requirement for regular staff training and phishing simulations so that it doesn't happen again. Hopefully, now these changes made our policy much more practical and aligned with institutional needs. Over to you, Dilmi.
Okay, thank you, Priyanka. So far we have discussed about the changes that we have suggested, and now I'm going to explain the network changes that we have implemented. So in this slide, we have summarized key security improvements implemented across PBC's routers and switches. As you can see in this table, for PBC router, we have created two access control lists. One for the finance department and one for the operations department. This will strictly allow only authorized IP ranges. So we have also applied a console password and banner MOTD, message of the day, and enabled password encryptions. I will explain this further in my next slide. And for PBC switches, there are four main switches. So we have made device specific changes for all four switches. So PBC switch 1 will receive full security setup, including enable password and port security. For switch 2 to 4 had unused ports to shut down and port security applied where needed. And these improvements are aligned with the security policy recommendations and address both human and technical vulnerabilities. So moving to the next slide. So in this slide, I'm presenting the evidences of successfully applied access control list on the router. So as I mentioned earlier, we have created two ACLs in PBC router, one for finance and one for the operations department. So as you can see in the screenshot, finance ACL only permits 192.168.10.0 traffic and applied it to gigabit Ethernet 00. And similarly, we applied it an operations ACL to gigabit Ethernet 101, allowing only 192.168.20.0 traffic. So you can see there is a range. This will allow all IP addresses from 1 to 254. The host octet can be changed according to the PC that you are using or the switch you are using. So this will prevent cross-departmental traffic leakage and reduce attack surface. So as shown in the screenshot, the ACLs were correctly configured and bound to the relevant interfaces. So moving to the next slide. we have shown the remaining security features on PBC router in this slide. So we have applied a console password for local devices, device access control. And also we have added a banner MOTD warning that unauthorized access is prohibited. So this will support the legal and policy compliances. And finally, we have added the password encryption, which is enabled, and this will ensure that the sensitive credentials like console passwords are not stored in plain text within the configuration file. And these changes are aligned to our updated security policy, and this will help to protect core router access. Moving to the next slide. So I mentioned that there are 4 switches. So switch 1 had several improvements to align with the best security practices. We first configured the passwords. As you can see in the screenshot, the secret password will protect privilege ESEC mode. Then we applied console password and enabled service password encryption to secure all stored credentials. We also implemented port security that limits which device can connect to specific port or switch, and this will help to prevent unknown or unauthorized devices from accessing the network. We have implemented port security on active interfaces like Gigabit, Ethernet 01 and 02. Their ports are locked down to specific MAC addresses that using sticky MAC binding to prevent unauthorized device connections. And we have also added a banner MOTD to display legal warning upon login. And as shown in the screenshot, all these changes are clearly reflected in the running configurations, and these actions strengthen the switch level access control and limit internal network threats. And I have mentioned there are like 4 switches. So from switch 2 to 4, we have identified several ports that were not in use. As a security measure, we shut down these unused ports to prevent unauthorized devices from connecting. And this will reduce the risk of internal threats or accidental access. And it's simply but effective way to protect the network at the physical layer. So over to you, Priyanka, to conclude the presentation.
Thank you. So towards concluding, our study identified serious vulnerabilities in both employee behavior and device configuration at PBC. We responded with a complete cybersecurity policy, awareness, training, access control lists, and device level protections as well. Our team effort resulted in a scalable and secure model for other departments to adopt. The finance department now serves as a benchmark, a standard for cybersecurity improvement across the institution, combining policy, training, and technology to prevent future breaches. Thank you very much. This is the group collaborations and contributions, references. Thank you very much.
Thank you.